My memoir tells the story of my life, but above all, about my time on the Supreme Court of Canada. So I thought I would read from the last day I sat as a judge on that court. Here's what I'm reading. On the morning of December 14th, I presided over my last case at the Supreme Court of Canada. When the case concluded, the counsel said a few words, marking the transition. And Justice Abella, senior puisne judge, made a gracious tribute. And then it was my turn. I pulled myself together. Somehow, I had to find a way to say a coherent farewell. I'd had no time to prepare a speech. But before coming into court that morning, I scribbled a few random thoughts on a piece of paper. I suddenly realized there was no way to say what those years had meant to me. With tears in my eyes and a tremble in my voice, I scrunched my pieces of paper together and spoke from the heart. Thank you to my colleagues, to the court staff, to my husband and my family. Thank you to this country, which had allowed me to fulfill a dream I did not have the confidence to even articulate when I started my journey in law. I felt my throat clog once more as I searched for a way to sum up my tenure on the court. And then the words came, whatever lies ahead, I know that my time here will always be the centerpiece of my life. As I passed through the great double doors behind the bench, sadness swept over me. I would never again sit in this courtroom, never again pass through these portals. Then the doors of the judges' conference room opened. I glimpsed the Ottawa River and the Gatineau Hills. A ray of sunlight struck through. I smiled. It's all there, caught in a photo, snapped by a court staffer, my eyes still bright with the tears I had stifled, and a smile on my face as I stepped into a new and different future. A load that I had carried for a very long time suddenly lifted. But life was not over. That evening I stood on the stage at the Shaw Centre in Ottawa and took my last bow as Chief Justice. 2 former Governors General, Adrienne Clarkson and David Johnston, as well as 3 Prime Ministers, Brian Mulroney, Jean Chrétien, and Justin Trudeau, spoke. 2 had been instrumental in my career as a Justice and Chief Justice, and the last had helped me decide when to retire. I thanked all those who had helped me along the way. My parents, my community, the teachers who had taught me to think, the province that had financed my studies, the mentors who had helped me find a leg up in the law, and the friends who had stood by me in good times and bad. I finished by thanking my country, a country that respects the rule of law and openness, in which a young woman of no particular note could become a lawyer and a judge and a Chief Justice. I had had a good run. Now it was time to move on.